Hey guys, welcome to another video. This one's actually going to be a plane crazy video. I haven't done one of these in quite a while, but I'm going to be showcasing my top 5 builds. So yeah, let's get straight into it. Alright, so the first build is going to be this weird medium tank thing that I've built. It's a Panzer II turret with an autocannon and a flamethrower attached to it. Slapped right on top of a Sherman hull for some reason. I don't know why I did this, but let's see it. So first off, we've got the main autocannon. Yeah, there's that. And then we've got the coax machine gun. It's much faster than the turret. With shooting off wheels on some builds. It's very fun, actually. And then we've got the flamethrower. Has the sound as well. Mostly the video though. We've got hatches which open up, and you can see inside the driver's hatch and the gunner's hatch. There's a seat down in there. And it doesn't have any suspension, so it's rather terrible on terrain, actually. It has a habit of flipping over when I hit the wrong angle. So let's see that. This is it on terrain. It does drift as well for some reason. Yep. See, there we go. It's flipped over already. And for some reason, the turret jams. Very frequently. And it takes a while to get it unjammed. And it's flipped again. Anyways, on to the next build. So the next build is actually going to be a sort of iteration or an upgrade of the last one. It's roughly based on the same design. It's got a completely different hull, however, and better add-on armor. This one's actually a rocket tank. It's got a rocket projector similar to the Sherman Calliope. This one does not have engine sounds, however the propellers sound a bit like an engine when it goes, but yeah. This one does, again, have the machine gun, but with another sound. Slightly deeper machine gun. This one does have suspension, so it's a little better on terrain. And the main weapon, as I said, is a rocket projector. And these are very, very good impact rockets. They're mostly decent for PvP though. There's 7 of them, as you can see. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And for some reason the rockets have a habit of spinning violently and falling. They do not self-destruct for some reason. And I'll now show you some PvP footage. So this server's absolutely filled with shredders and whatever the hell that thing is, so I feel like getting some decent rocket footage might be a pain, so I'll probably just try and get 1 or 2 good hits and a kill maybe. Probably gonna take me a while though, due to that red thing. Yeah. I don't really... Yeah, see, there's the impact. That's quite powerful, as you can see. And it decimates most things. Appreciate it if that tank would come back. And land. What the hell? Yeah, so that's most of the footage I'm going to get for that. This tank does not have much of an interior. It's pretty decent on terrain, I'd say. This one is very, very top heavy when I've got the rockets on it, so it is very prone to tipping over. However, without the rockets, the suspension makes it very smooth on terrain, actually. it doesn't veer off course or anything, and it climbs hills quite well. You can even go over this thing. It does like to drift sometimes. And anyways, on to the next build. Now this next build is a very fast one. This is a delta-winged fighter jet. It doesn't really have a name or anything. It does have a lot of lock and a hell of a lot of hover drive engines, as you can see. This one has a little to no interior. I'll lock it. And there we go. I've got angled vertical stabilizers at the back. It's got machine guns and gun pods under the wings. It's got rockets. And at the back, when I press my number pad keys, it releases flares or countermeasures or whatever you'd like to call them. They're good for evading rockets on other planes. And this also has air brakes, which slow it down fairly significantly. And I'll show you in flight now. This one also does have sounds. It's got the turbine startup sound, really obnoxiously loud, and main engine flying sound. And I'll now take off. The landing gear does retract on the fuselage. I don't have any controls or anything with that, unfortunately. Now this one is very fast. Blisteringly fast, actually. However, when I go too fast, it doesn't like to stay stable. It's got a top speed of around 2.2 thousand. And yeah, when you kick it, it starts to roll, as you can see. However, it turns relatively decent. But at lower speeds, it's a bit like an F1. You have a planet-sized turn radius, as you can see here. Quite entertaining to fly in first person, actually. And I'll show you the air brakes. I'll go up to about 150. And you can put the air brakes on. About 200 to 300 speed gets taken, which is actually not bad. I can actually press J and that will eject. It's a bit of a janky feature. It ejects the whole canard section as well, but it works, and it also ejects the front guns for some reason. I'm gonna have to fix that. It's mostly for show, but it is fun to use when I get shot down in PvP. So, anyways, on to the next build. Now this next build, it's a very slow, fat one. This is actually a seaplane. It can do a water takeoff, which I'll show you shortly. I'll just get over the water. It's very slow. It's only got a top speed of around 500 if I recall correctly. It doesn't actually have any landing gear. No, make that top speed 300. About 350. It does have pontoons and rudders to turn in the water, which I'll show you. And it's also got bombs which drop in series, I think, from memory. Yep, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, there we go. And I'll bank around for a water landing. It is a bit strange on the turning due to all the helium in the back that lets it take off from the water. But anyways, it works, it works. And I'm just going for a landing here. This reminds me somewhat of a PBY Catalina, but I base this to sort of be canonically a German plane. And it turns in the water, albeit turning from the front, which is a little bit inconvenient sometimes. It has a slight interior. It's got doors which open, and it's got a couple of passenger seats in the back there. It's got a deck which you can stand up on. It's a bit close to the propeller zone. And if you jump up here and walk along, you've got a sort of observer's seat up at the front. which you can control the plane from. And I'll show you the water takeoff now. Just get in. Back in there, shut the doors. And for a water takeoff, it takes off very smooth. It's very, very short takeoff actually. It's quite impressive. Takeoff speed of about 100 actually, and we've only just taken off there. It's very fast on takeoff. It's a little bit hard on handling, however, that's to be expected from a seaplane. It does have a decent roll though. It's very fun to do for show and role playing. And anyways, on to the next build. Now, this is the last build, and as you may notice, it looks similar to the Seaplane. That's because this is a heavily upscaled version of the Seaplane. Alright, so I actually had to go back and re-record this part of the video because the engine sounds were so loud that it stopped the captions from auto-generating, which was quite annoying. So anyways, we've got this cargo door at the back, which opens up. And I'll just get out really quick. And I'll show you a fun little feature that this has. As you can see, it's got seats down at the back here. That's just for passengers. As I was saying, this is an upscaled version of the Seaplane. When I say upscaled, I mean largely it's got 2 more engines, and the fuselage is a whole lot longer. But if I can make it work, I'll get that in there. So that's a piece of cargo. Not very practical, but it's fun to do. Now, I'll go in here, close the cargo doors. And of course that one's jammed. Of course it has. I'll just go back here and pull that out. No, get back out. There we go. And back to the flying, thank you very much. As this one's rather slow on the takeoff and acceleration, I've actually added another fun, rather useful feature actually, rocket-assisted takeoff pods. And this one's got manually retracting landing gear with sounds, so I retract and put them down with 2 separate buttons. Sounds are broken. Again. And this one has a considerably better handling than the Seaplane for some reason, even though it's a whole lot larger, and a top speed of around 500, I think, in level flight. Close to. The wingtips are angled up on a dihedral. That does in-game actually add more horizontal stability. And just for fun, I'm going to go ahead and land at the airport with this cargo for the entertainment of you, my viewer. Line up with the runway, slow down. Yeah, no, I'm not sticking this. Gears down. Yep, see, retract gear sounds work just fine. Of course they do. That was a terrible landing. And the gears do buckle sometimes, unfortunately. Just fixed by retracting them. And then unretract them. Happy days. Now I'll go ahead and open up the cargo doors. And take out our cargo. Come in here with the airport. There we go. And that's all for this build and all for this video. So thank you guys for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe and keep your eyes out for the next video. See ya!